Speaking of Sjow, he is the blue Terran in the top left corner. I realize that you're not on that screen, Andre. I apologize.
There you go. Boom.
He is from Team Dignitas. And I love it the way Carmack says. He says Dignitas. So, yeah, Sjow, a player who kind of had a break from Dignitas and then rejoined shortly thereafter. In the bottom right corner, we have Darkforce, the red Zerg from Alternate Attack. And I've said it before, man. Darkforce, he's more than capable of taking the series. He's beaten Korean Terrans, Hart, who's beaten other players like Dong Gu and stuff. So it's just been shown that his ZVT isn't awful by any means.
No.
It's just that in this division alone, he's just been struggling overall in the series.
I'm really happy because in NASL Season 3, there's very few people who I think are deemed as not being worth the spot. You know, everybody in the NASL Season 3 have some justification of why they're here. And it's just unfortunate Darkforce has started off 0-4. That is a crippling beginning. And he basically needs to go 5 wins in a row if he wants to stay in the NASL.
It's also a testament, though, I mean, don't you think, to the skill level of this division. You know, what producer Morgan came up to me and asked, what would you rank like as the most difficult division? You know, what was it? I would say Division 5 is really hard with MC, Moro, and White Rod, all these big people. Division 2 is actually really hard as well. You think of some of these names. We have, of course, Hero, Demaga, Sjow, just, you know, these absolute titans. And of course, Hasuabs, who will be going up against Ryung right after the series, guys. So this isn't going to be the last series of the day. So we have lots and lots of great players. And Darkforce just showing another reason why you shouldn't forget about him.
Exactly. And hopefully we see more of that today. We do have Sjow going for the delayed factory yet again, opting to get a slightly later refinery. You get this on, I believe, 14. And then you get an expansion. You're able to produce 1 Marine and then get your reactor and factory directly after that. He actually misplaced his factory, unfortunate. That stinks. He meant to not do that, I'm sure.
That's all right.
On the opposite corner, we have Darkforce getting a very fast metabolic boost. Now again, when I see this, as the Terran player, you're initially thinking my opponent is capable of doing some sort of circling Baneling all in. Be careful! Be careful.
Well, at least it's not the one base Baneling all in we saw from Lily against
Dude,
Thorazane.
that is a really good build that needs to be worked into circulation of Zerg builds.
To try to keep them accountable?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Because there's so many times when Terrans are just being so greedy. I've actually been on ladder as my Zerg and just done Zergling Baneling 1 base all-ins all the time. And guess what my success rate is?
100%.
100%. Do you know why? Because nobody actually defends against
They have like 1 Marine, 2 Hellions, and like a 3rd command center. So yeah, so Greetorb showing you how to make nerds rage on ladder. Guys, these guys have met in Season 1 at NASL with Darkforce actually taking it 4-1.
I remember those
That was back when we were playing on Typhon Peaks and Crevasse, so different maps for a different time. But nonetheless, they do have history. In fact, they've played a lot. Statistically, Sjow has beaten Darkforce more, 13-6. But Darkforce has the recent wins in the EU Champions trophies at NASL Season 1, so that's what the advantage goes to Sjow. But at the same time, what do you think he's... Oh, actually, never mind. He already revealed it. He's getting a Marauder and Hellions, the same exact build he did in game number 1.
Yep, Stim is inbound as well.
Yeah.
We'll see if he actually continues on that Marauder count, whether or not he goes out of this. Darkforce doing the same exact build as well, going for the super early 3rd base. Now, once Sjow sees this, it should be an instant tell, not an instant tell, but an instant like trigger for him to go and just add on additional barracks. 1 or 2 is fine. Oh no, he's going double NG Bay. Whoa! Normally you'll punish this.
NG Bay?
Yeah.
It's double E Bay, dude.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
NG Bay.
That actually sounds so awkward now that I say it. What is wrong with me?
Oh man, but speaking of awkward, these Hellions are uncomfortably close to that Spine Crawler and not really doing too much damage. But the big thing is Sjow wants to at least control creep and deny this 3rd, but...
And the spine crawler, if the patch was updated, you would know that you can actually rush by attacking the command center of Sjow from this distance. Apparently, spine crawlers have infinite range.
You're talking about the infinite range of the spine crawler, right?
Exactly.
How it can reach an incredible amount. That's a replay glitch, but man, that was so funny when I saw it. But Darkforce, nonetheless, he's still trying to sneak in creep tumors. A great denial there from Sjow, being able to pick it off. Darkforce at the same time making a lot of Zerglings. He stopped joining altogether in favor of 32 Zerglings. Oh my.
Now Sjow is at a point where his Hellion count is so massive that he can just shove them in really uncomfortable areas, and Darkforce is like relegated to just leave them there. He doesn't have any other options. Now these Hellions are coming in here. The Zerglings will try to just back them out momentarily, but if he gets over here between the gas and the third base, he can actually just snipe the hatchery down with Hellions, pure Hellions. How crazy would that be?
Not too crazy, considering Sjow was making Hellions all the way to the 12 mark. Now, what's interesting is because, again, this is on the patch before today that happened this morning, so Overlords don't have the exact speed that they could. So Darkforce's scouting hasn't been that great, but he's about to see these Hellions run straight into the natural, and Sjow doesn't want to back down. So these 12 Hellions can do a lot of damage if Darkforce allows them to. He's trying to pull all of his queens, realizing the magnitude of the situation, trying to see if he can block those Hellions in, but there are a lot of drones and Zerglings that are very vulnerable, and Sjow can do massive amounts of damage. You can see a great flank here to put drones flanking the Hellions. That is exactly what Sjow would want, and Darkforce is going to pay a huge price for letting these Hellions in.
And there are still so many Hellions in here. Blue Flame is not up, of course, but he doesn't even need it at this point. Now the Hellion count is thinning out, so was it all well and done at the end of the day? I would say yes. Let's go ahead and look at it. 16 workers killed. Income tab showing 46 to 40 with the advantage going to Sjow. He's looking really good. Not only that, he has his double upgrades from his NG base, and he's looking really strong going into that mid-game stage.
His NG base?
I said it. It was purposeful. It was purposeful.
Well, that's actually exactly what I was going to hit upon, because Darkforce, a lot of people are like, oh man, the 12 Hellions, is he going to go for the double factory? But no, he saw the double E-base, and as a result, able to know that in the end, this is going to follow with Marines, and exactly what Sjow does. Let's take a moment and look about what just happened at the base of Darkforce. You can see the Hellions get entry, but the big thing is that Darkforce pulled his queens a little bit too late. You can see the Hellions already are behind the gases by the time the queens get there, and that was just way, way, way too late, as the Hellions were able to scourge a huge amount of drones.
Yeah, of course, this was the key moment, though, getting all the way in there. But let's go ahead and look back at the live broadcast right now. Obviously, that position, you don't even have to, a lot of the times, oh, actually, hold that thought. These Zerglings are trying to flank. Nice job, though, by Sjow. Good reaction time. He will take his third base. Nothing has really happened since, but a lot of times players don't actually say, how can I roast a lot of drones? They say, how can I get into a position that roasts a lot of drones? And that was a perfect example. I mean, he was able to just skirt around the spine crawler, get into that position back in the corner, and Zerglings, drones, they're completely useless against anything that he could do.
Well, consider a few things that Sjow scouted. First of all, he saw double Evo, and he saw a lot of Lings. You know, there's no Roaches or anything else. Sometimes Zerg tried to defend with Roach Ling, as we've been seeing in other matchups. Not other matchups, in other series. And Sjow also got a good count of drones, also saw guys being taken, so he has good information on what Darkforce has available to him, because last game, Darkforce went for like a slower upgrade style with a lot more units, going for a huge bailing attack to deny the third. That was the name of the game. But Darkforce now, he's the one being relegated to being really defensive, staying on his creep, having his tumors denied. And as a result, Show's had map control for a very significant amount of time. And Darkforce, whoa, he's teching to Hive really quickly here.
Interesting. I'm wondering what he wants to get at that Hive tech structure. I think it's just for the plus 3/3. A lot of players will do that these days to just continue on with his upgrade so he's relevant, making Ultralisks actually feasible at this stage. Ultras are pretty good on this map, surprisingly, just because you can clamp down in the position pretty easily and get around the corners. At this point, we do have the Marine drop over here at the third base.
Darkforce should know about it, though. It flew over that Zergling right outside the natural, so Darkforce, he's got units in prepared, though, so no real damage done here by Sjow. In fact, that was pretty much ineffective completely.
2-2 is about to hit for both these players. It looks like Sjow is just well-timed. Now, he should be prioritizing to get as many medevacs out in the field as possible. Going back to what his opponent knows, or what he knows about his opponent, rather. He sees double evolution chamber. The natural progression to that is to get an infestation pit and a lot of infestors. The infestors actually keep you safe against all these pushes. So people have been straying away from that mass siege tank type of style, and really allocating all that gas towards medevacs. It keeps you alive against those infestors. So that's why we see this circular movement where Banelings and Zerglings are becoming a lot more relevant in this mid-game stage, or in this mid-end game stage. And I think if Sjow went for the Medivacs this time around, he would be so successful. But it looks like he's just going to continue. And it's just an all-around nice ball. It's pretty strong overall.
Yep. And you can see that Sjow has his 2-2. He's trying to move in for the timing, but Darkforce trying to beat him to the punch before he can siege up. Darkforce laying the fungals on the Marines. Is he going to be able to hold here in the center of the map and reclaim control? For now, the answer is no. As you can see, Sjow has a huge supply advantage right now. It's extremely significant, 170 to 110. And even on workers, that's the big thing too. Sjow has an incredible amount of army advantage. You can see 100 to 46. And the big thing is that he's kept his siege tanks alive, really. He didn't really lose them, so his positioning will be extremely fortified. And Darkforce really can't say much here. He's trying to get his Ultras out. Of course, Ultra Ling with Infestors is very good for this map, as we've seen multiple times through players like Stefano.
But he has no positioning.
But he has no positioning. You're absolutely
and he
right.
has no Chitness plating either. And
I thought it was chitinous plating. Is it?
God dang it.
Chitness plating.
I don't know why it just said chitness plating. I'm getting going out of my mind, son.
It's totally cool, but Sjow, he's going to try to see if he can drop and ferry some of these Marines into the main and pick off. And of course, the whole idea is to disposition some of these units. If Darkforce ever gets out of position, he can advance further in, snipe the third. You can see Darkforce sacrificing an Infestor, trying to see if he can fungal, but this is looking more and more like the deadly Terran pushes of yore. As you can see, Sjow will not be stopped. More units are reinforcing the Ultralisk. Whatever comes in will die immediately. And I like the incorporation of the Thor as well from Sjow.
Oh, the Thor is beautiful. It's able to actually snipe stuff. There it is. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Sjow will take game number 2.
Sjow. Are those gunners he's wearing?
Those are gunners.
Oh. Very, very nice.
Of course they are.
I want a pair of gunners myself.
I got them.
Unfortunately. You do?
I do.
Share, man. You have 2 pairs?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to share then. Guys, you know, let's talk a little bit about the game, reflect upon it. Again, if you joined midway through the game, there was just a lot of pressure from those Hellions. The 12 Hellions were just absolutely devastating. Like, and there's no way around it. And Darkforce scouted correctly. He said, like, okay, he's not committing, he's not going double factor or anything, but it's still, Sjow kept making Hellions and hiding them, and he was showing like 4 or 6 the initial, and he came in with 12 and just overwhelmed. The Darkforce was too late to respond, and as a result, just lost an incredible amount of drones.
More importantly, last game we didn't see Roaches out at all. When he showed so many Hellions, his opponent still did not make Roaches. And Sjow reads that and says, okay, I'm not going to be so aggressive with my Hellions. Let me keep and retain as many of them as possible and just blow in there. And I don't care. You can be making 100 Zerglings, and these 20 Reapers, 20 Hellions are still going to take you out. Dude, 20 Reapers are good.
I heard about those.
They win 1v2s really nicely. So that being said, I mean, he was able to get in there, kill a ton of drones, and then continued on with that double 1-1 behind that. That was so important. If he didn't get all those kills, I feel like the 1-1-1 would be, or excuse me, the 1-1 upgrades would be a lot weaker. But as it was, Sjow played great.
Guys, that game to you was brought to you by iBuyPower, the company that has pre-assembled PCs. Go to iBuyPower.com. And thank you so much to them for providing the power for our NASL broadcast. Guys, don't go anywhere. Game number 3, the deciding match between Sjow and Darkforce, is coming up right after this.